Yo, it's your boy, Mr. Locario, the bad boy of the dating game, and you're watching the Carbon Ops Rawcast.
You are experiencing the CO2 Carbon Ops Rawcast. Let's begin.
That's right. And you ain't said it no better, freaking lady who starts the show. Good morning, good evening, and good afternoon, everybody. You are now rocking with the team, with the crew, with the baddest, with the folks. This is the CO2 Carbon Ops Broadcast with your boy, Diggy Jones.
And your dude, the merciless Reese L. Black.
Good evening, Mr. Black.
Man, don't you love episodes like this, my nigga? Like, we live for this. I know y'all live for this, man. Like, when it's time, when you see this black backdrop, you know what time it is, man. It is Winners Lounge time. And as usual, at one point we were talking about making this a trilogy, but the original trilogy is what it is. We keep it going because we got fat talent, dope talent that's coming on today. Y'all already know who it is. Big man in the game, you know what I'm saying? The bad boy in the game. I'm not going to be the one to introduce it. Of course, I'm going to leave that privilege to my man, Mr. Black. But this is going to be a heavy one. This is going to be a big one. So get ready. This is the Winners Lounge.
You are cordially invited to attend the Winners Lounge with special guest, the bad boy of the dating game, Mr. Locario. Author, content creator, and producer of the film, Game Kings, The Definition of Game. Let's resume the Rawcast.
Yeah. Winners Lounge. You got it.
Ladies and gentlemen, welcome to Winners Lounge. Today,
Get ready for the hype.
Today is another one of those motherfucking days.
Yes.
Our special guest today hails out of New York. This man is an author, speaker, #1 dating coach, producer of the one and only one of its kind documentaries, Game Kings, The Definition of Game. This man is also the author of one of the staples of the books in the Black manosphere, How to Have Sex with 2 Women a Day. Damn near dubbed to me as the most patient dating coach in the game that has ever been seen at this moment. Please, if you can, raise your motherfucking glasses.
Yes, sir.
To the one and only, the bad boy of the dating game, the Mr. Locario. Welcome to Winners Lounge.
Yeah.
What up? What's going on, guys?
What
man,
up,
appreciate you having me, man. That's crazy. I said I'm the most patient. I'm losing my patience for the past year or two because I've been like, man, these guys still don't get it. They don't understand this game. I'm like, yo, I'm trying to help them out. You know. So,
It is
what's good, y'all? What's going on?
Yeah,
What's going on, man? Appreciate having you on the show. How you been, man? What's new in your world?
I'm good, man. I'm just, I'm working crazy every day. Just, working with different clients. Just doing my usual like daily YouTube stuff. I'm working on a new book. I don't want to say the name of the book because too many people be stealing stuff. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
I'm working on a new book, but it's funny because like working on books, man, it's like it's a lot for me. I know some people like shout out to my dude Afi Kingdom. He writes books like crazy, but me, it takes me a long time to do. So I'm just grinding on that. But yeah, that's basically what I'm doing right now. I'm just promoting Game Kings, promoting the Bad Boy membership, and just doing that. You know what I'm saying?
So, how do they be writing all these books?
Yeah,
man?
dude.
I can't even fathom
It's
it.
hard, you know? It's tough.
And yo,
Especially doing stuff.
and shout out to you, Afi Kingdom, because he in the Bay Area with us and everything.
Yeah.
I think he on book like 6 or 7 or something like that. In like 1 year.
That's crazy.
That's what I'm saying. But he a beast with it. So I was like, man.
Yeah. So shout out to Afi. Yo,
Let's do it.
let's go ahead and get into it. Game Kings, the definition of game.
Yeah.
All of you guys out there in the manosphere, you guys done seen so many trailers of this. before I start, I am going to take a moment to call some people out, with the exception of EO. A lot of y'all, shout out to Coach Everett Overton, a lot of y'all should have reviewed this documentary, because this right here, this was damn near so dope that it was needed. You know, it got a price tag on it. It's an investment. No, this was not even an investment. This was an investment. B as in boy, EST. And that word investment, you see the word best me. If this documentary doesn't bring out the best version of you when it comes to attraction, because this ain't no damn documentary about how to catch chicks. No, this damn documentary is basically how to become a better version of you. That's pretty much it, from spirituality, from damn near growth, from damn near dieting, from damn near just energy and vibe. It all begins with you. And for a lot of you cats out there, I know Rom and everybody, ARC, you actually tried to get ARC to be a part of it, right?
ARC was supposed to be on it. We wanted him on it, but it just didn't work out that way. So hopefully for part 2, we'll see.
All right. But a lot of you guys, you know, smaller guys out there, if you guys know about this documentary, y'all should have been the first one to grab it, the first one to support it, and the first people to review it, and the first people to cross promote it. But that shit, I said what I've said. So now we're doing this shit. Now we're going to talk about this shit here on the Winners Lounge.
Well,
now,
hold up really quick, man. Why is it, I want to know your opinion, Locario. What is it you think that's happening? I mean, I know we can just easily say hate or whatever it is, but like, we got to support, you know, our people, you know what I mean? So like, regardless of what you feel about it or whatever, like it starts with that. Why do you think it is that people aren't really pushing it the way that they should be pushing it?
Right. Well, I mean, shout out to the people who actually, did promote it, because we have some people like EO, my dude, Afi promoted it, my dude Playboy Zay. So it was a few people. The Style Pilot, he basically promoted it, and there's a lot of people who actually bought the documentary. So shout out to all those people. So it's been going well. So you know what I'm saying? Like, people are actually gravitating to it. The thing is, though, we wanted to get more people to know about it, because the problem is, I don't think people take the game seriously. You know what I'm saying? And that's why we did the documentary, mainly because we wanted people to understand that this is something serious that is life-changing, that changes people's lives. That's something that you can, implement into your life to change it. Because with YouTube is cool as far as, like, there's a lot of stuff on YouTube that's entertaining, and I watch a lot of entertaining stuff too. But what I really like, me personally, I like stuff that enriches my mind, because that's going to help me step up my game in life. So that's what we wanted to make it to, where it's like a, something that is important that people can actually use in their daily life. You see what I'm saying? So that's really like the main focus of having it out there, and people seeing it as like a legitimate and real thing. Because I think most people don't really take it seriously. You know what I'm saying? Yeah. That's why we have to make it happen, Wow.
And to get down to the nitty gritty, this was one film. This was biblical. This was one thing that actually needs to be taken care of. This was very informative. Instructions are needed at hand. We're going to promote this throughout this series. I'm just going to tell you that right now. You're about to see this on the ground. We're going to promote this out of this, because this right here could single-handedly just bring the best out of any man and, get y'all out of that bitch mode, But let's get down to the nitty-gritty.
Thanks.
Game Kings. I would go ahead and be cliche and just be like, so how did, No. What were the challenges of filming this shit? Give us the dirt.
Man, this was the worst. No, it was what's funny? It was cool. Like, there's one side of it that's really cool, because we traveled to different states to interview people. So we went to Vegas to interview Rosebud. We went to LA to interview Boss Mac. You know what I'm saying? We was in DC with Ron Wills. We went to Texas to interview Steve Dedeen. And so that was cool to traveling. But the thing that was a pain in the ass was it's expensive. You know what I'm saying? We spent thousands of dollars on getting this done, as far as just production wise. Then, as far as filming it and traveling. Then on top of that, when you watch the film, there's a thing called B-roll, for those who don't know. So B-roll is what you see on top of the talking. So talking is the A-roll. The B-roll is like if you see a picture of a girl walking by or whatever it is, like that. So we had to buy stock footage. So the stock footage itself was expensive. So for like a 30-second clip of like a guy and a girl on a date, that'd cost you like $200 just for that 30-second clip.
Damn.
So,
we in the wrong business shit.
No, there's niggas out there making a living off of selling B-roll. I thought about doing that myself.
Right. So we had to buy all of that stock footage. So it's like the traveling, we paid everybody in the documentary, the stock footage, you know, and it just putting it together, because me and my dude Miles, we both worked on it as far as editing is concerned. So it took us about like a whole year to edit it. Plus also the whole thing with the pandemic happened. So we had to put that on hold. And so we had like a few months where we just didn't even really get to do anything with it. So we was kind of like sitting on it, and then we had to go back to it. So it's a lot of work, a lot of time, a lot of energy. And when I was actually filming that, if y'all notice, I was really skinny in there, and I was actually dealing with you know, illness at the time, because I had hypothyroidism.
Right.
And so hypothyroidism, that messes your thyroid, and then it makes you lose weight. So I was losing a lot of weight and stuff, and I was just like, I was all messed up in the game. So
I know, and Miles was fat.
Yeah, Miles was fat, exactly. That was way before that. So yeah, so it was just like that whole time I was filming that, I was just all, you know what I mean? So we had to get it done, and then we just, you know, we just put it out there, man. And the thing is, this is the only documentary of its kind that exists, period. You know what I'm saying? So it's the only one. So, you know, who knows, there might be other documentaries that come after this, but you know, this is the first one that's ever been done. So I tell people this is like history right here. You know what I'm saying? Like, it's real deal stuff. You know what I mean?
Facts, man. Okay.
Yeah.
So like, let's get into the actual, you know, movie, because I want to call it a movie, because that's really, like you said, you using B-roll, had drone footage and all that. Like that's cinematic.
See, he's the filmographer.
Yeah,
he knows all that shit.
I do this stuff. So that's the stuff I really respect. When Reese put me on, because I mean, it's the Rawcast. I'm gonna be 100. When I saw the trailer at first, you know, I'm from a different cloth, so I think differently sometimes. I wasn't sure how I was going to relate to the film. But when I saw it, man, I really respected it, because what I think you did that was genius was you took a bunch of different types of men. You didn't just do one type of man. You did a bunch of different types of men with different perspectives. You got the pimp, you got the dude that, you know, that's maybe more clean cut. You got like all different types. And they still talking about the essentials of game. And somebody made a really good point on that I thought was dope, is that, you know, game is universal, man. It's like we can all have different opinions and come from different lifestyles and still have game in our world. So like my game from my world, you know what I'm saying? We talk about on the show, like I've been in and out of private school and public school. So my life is going to be different than somebody who came from the streets, right? But exactly. My game, I know how to talk to the women that I grew up around. You know what I'm saying? So it's just this. I love that, because you gotta get guys to understand there's different ways to approach the same problem. What's your take on that?
Right. Nah, that's real talk. And even I like that in the documentary, Rosebud even talked about that. He was like, look, you have 10 guys saying 10 different things, and it's all correct. You feel what I'm saying? Because it's from different perspectives, but it's all going down the same path of you getting what you want. Because that's what game is about. It's about the person figuring out the strategy to get exactly what they want. You see what I'm saying? And that's like the simplest way to put it, is that, you know, if you want to go from A to B, how do you get there? And so if you're able to get there, then that's your game. Now, there are certain ways that is going to be, you know, a little bit more advantageous than others. There's going to be certain ways that you can do things that'll make it easier for you than other ways. But essentially, at the end of the day, it's like, yo, is what you're doing working for you? Right. And if it is, then that means your game is strong. If it's not, then it's weak. You got to tweak it. You got to do something a little different and you know, and switch it up. So that's mainly the main thing. And so I want guys to get this understanding, because a lot of guys be thinking, oh, game is like you lying to women and manipulating stuff, and you got to do. It's like, that's not really what it's about. Now, somebody could be a liar and a scumbag, and that's their game. You feel what I'm saying? They can still go what they want. But I usually don't suggest doing that type of stuff, because usually at the end of the day, that type of stuff, that type of energy come back to you, and it's you don't really want to have to deal with all that. You know what I'm saying? So I always say be a little bit more authentic in your situation, so that you have that good energy throughout whatever you're doing. You know what I'm saying?
Facts.
You know, and I do want to stay right here in the you know, in the what works for your area. Now, one of the things that I picked out of the documentary, you know, was on the conversation of compliance. Now, I do remember, you know, Miles, shout out to Miles Cunningham. I do remember him telling a story about how he was out to meet a girl, and he wanted her to sit somewhere in particular. Right. Now, my thing is this. Me personally, I don't give a shit where you sit. And I have a daughter. So I'm gonna have a little bit of beef, and that's just me because I'm a dad. So I'm gonna have a little bit of beef if you come home telling me you went on a date and he started tripping on where you needed to sit. I'm gonna be like, he did what? You know, but shut out the mouths. You know. But the question I want to ask is now: is there a thin line between compliance or what somebody may call petty compliance? That worked for him. But that shit ain't gonna work for me. I'm gonna get clowned if I be like, yo, sit right here, whatever this date is over. But that's just me. I don't care about where you sit. But is there a thin line between, compliance and just like soft compliance?
Right. Well, the thing is this, a woman's compliance is directly correlated to her interests. So what I always tell guys is that whenever, the only time a woman gives you friction or whenever there's friction in the situation is when you're telling a woman to do something and she doesn't 100%, she's not 100% into you and she's not 100% trusting of you. And so what happens is that there's going to be that resistance. So now it's one thing if you're telling her to do something crazy, like if you say, hey, let's go rob this bank, then that makes sense. She's going to give you resistance. You know what I'm saying? Because that's ridiculous. But if you're saying something like, hey, I want to take you to this bar, this really cool bar that I know, in my neighborhood and it serves good drinks. And if she's like, oh, but I don't think I want to go there. That's resistance, right? So she's not complying with that. And usually women don't comply with that because she may not be 100% interested in you. So compliance is really seeing how interested the woman is in you, because what happens is that she's always going to make it easy for a guy she's interested in. So it's not anything that she's forced to do or that she doesn't want to do. She's only going to do it if she wants to do it, meaning that she's only doing it if she's 100% interested. Because what happens is women don't show resistance to guys they're 100% interested in because they know that if they do show resistance, there's a chance they might lose the guy. And so if she's showing resistance and she knows there's a chance he might lose the guy, that means she's not that interested in him because she doesn't care that much to lose the guy. You see what I'm saying? So compliance is really just a test to see, how interested the woman is in you. So for example, that example with Miles, if the woman was 100% interested in him, she would have just sat in the seat that he told her to sit in. You see what I'm saying? But because she wasn't necessarily 100% interested in him, she could have just been on a date with him because she was bored, or, she's trying to get over a breakup with a boyfriend, or she just was like, oh, I just want some attention. And so when women are in that state, they're always going to have that little friction. So for Miles, he's looking at it, well, why am I going to continue a date with a woman that's not actually interested in me? And this is the problem with a lot of guys, is that they waste a lot of time on women who aren't interested in them because they don't know how to really test and see if the girl's interested. You see what I'm saying?
Yeah, I was actually going to touch on that because that's a really good point. Is when we talk about this game thing, it is not. Some people have the impression, I feel, that it's going to work for every girl that you come across. Once you learn these steps and you learn these patterns, like I should be able to go on the street and just pick up anybody that's on the street. And that's not realistic. And that's what I think I like is, we're talking about being realistic. You're not going to always be able to do what works for one person is not going to work for the next person. That's just real life. So guys, we got to get out of our heads and start looking into the real world as what is really going to work in this situation. I want to touch really quick on something that you said in the documentary itself. You were talking about how you said everyone has game. You said some people have weak game and some people have strong game. So what I was thinking, that's really, really
that was powerful. Everybody has game.
Yeah. So then my question to you is, in your opinion, is game synonymous with strategy? If everyone has game, is it really a matter of who has the best strategy, or is there more to that? What's your take on that?
Yeah, because the thing is, what people don't understand is that as long as you're living on Earth, as long as you're existing, you have game. Because you're always going to do something. You understand? You're going to go left or right, up or down, whatever it is. So based off of what you're doing, right, that's going to show you whether what you're doing is strong or what you're doing is weak. Is going to show whether your game is strong or your game is weak. So it is synonymous with strategy. So for example, I always use a simple example where if, a baby has game, the baby cries because they're like, oh, every time I cry, the parent going to come and feed me or change my diaper or whatever it is. You understand? That's their strategy to get that situation. Right. And so the thing is that when a person is doing what they're doing, they need to see, is my strategy working? Right. And so a lot of times what will happen is that a person's strategy may not necessarily be working in the way they want it to work. So they have to switch it up. But also, too, this is what people have to understand, is that you also have to, and this is the part that most people don't talk about, you also have to know the reality of what you're doing and how things are supposed to play out. Because sometimes what will happen is that you're doing something and you're thinking it's not working, right? But you're just not working it in the way that you need to in order for it to work. Right. So for example, let's say, and you kind of touched on it earlier too, you were saying that some people think, well, I got to get every girl I talk to. No, that's not realistic. Right. The reality is that you have to find the girls that want to mess with you, that want to, interact with you. And so the strategy would be, okay, instead of me talking to just 3 girls and all of them reject me and just give up, the strategy would be, let me talk to 25 girls and then probably 1 or 2 is going to be receptive to me. Now, the reality is that you may have to talk to 25 girls for 2 or 3 to accept you. You see what I'm saying? Exactly. So it's about having the strategy, but also seeing the reality that comes with the strategy that you're trying to do. You understand what I'm saying? So it's they work both hand in hand, because if you don't know the reality, then what's going to happen is that you're going to pick a certain strategy and then you're going to give up, or you're going to fail, or you're going to think, oh, well, it can't happen, because you don't know the reality of what it takes to get there. So just like if a person is trying to build a business, they're like, oh man, I tried a business for like 3 months and it didn't work. I'm like, bro, you got to try it for a few years. Right. You understand what I'm saying? Right. But see, if you don't know that, then you're going to actually fail, because you're going to give up because you think that you should be having a business in 3 months. You see what I'm saying? Yeah. So it's really understanding, what you have to do, but also the reality of what it's going to take to get there. You see what I'm saying?
Mm-hmm. That's right.
I want to stay on this topic right here, because that still delves into the one of my favorite areas of the documentary was, energy.
Right.
Energy. And a lot of cats that call up in your show, well, since you decided to start taking donations before you started taking phone calls, we don't have too many cats with the bad energy, calling in anymore, But the thing is, the cats with the bad energy who could not talk, they really needed the game the most, but obviously they were very contrarious, so you really couldn't get nowhere. They were just calling in base. You were the black guy, and they basically had to just crash a show and make you look stupid, but it wasn't working out for them and everything. Yeah. Now, the thing is getting back to the whole energy thing. And I'm not sure if you guys totally touched on the numbers game, and I'm glad you brought that up, because you can have good vibes, good confidence to 30 chicks, but you said you might only pull 4.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm. Because the rest may be, so many layers. We're going to go glitch here. Maybe in a relationship, maybe lesbian, may had a death in the family. You have no idea what's going on with this chick. But getting back to energy, getting back to confidence. Why do you feel, why is that not expressed as heavily when it comes into like the dating coaching community? It's like some people touch on confidence, but not many people touch on the confidence of, the energy of confidence. Elaborate.
Right. Well, the thing is, I think the hard part about people understanding confidence is because confidence is something that's hard to explain. It's like trying to explain happiness or love. You understand? It's a very intangible concept. You see what I mean? But and then so what especially as men, we try to make everything tangible. Like I gotta, put numbers on this, and I gotta calculate this, and it has. You see what I'm saying? Because even when we talk about like stuff like high value man, we're a lot of people are trying to put numbers and
stats,
stat on whether or not you're high. You know what I'm saying? So that's how we're coming at it. So it's hard for us to really understand it. But see, this is the problem: is that in order for you to really understand confidence, you have to get away from trying to box it in. You understand what I'm saying? Yeah. And so what it means is that when we talk about the energy of it, the energy is something that you have to feel and recognize within yourself before you can actually really have that core confidence. It's almost like, like when you were younger and let's say your parents or somebody older told you something, but you didn't realize it until later on in life. Like, oh, that's what they was talking about when I was like, 15 and I didn't get it until I was an adult. You understand what I'm saying? Like, I didn't realize what that meant until now. It's the same thing with confidence, is that you have to recognize that it's going to hit you. You understand what I'm saying? Like, okay, yeah, I understand my value. I understand what this is. And so that's the real core confidence. Now, what could happen is this, a person can build confidence through external and material type of interactions, meaning a person can, for example, do something like, I don't know, fix a TV or something like that. And then like, well, I'm confident that I could fix TVs because I did it before. So now you feel like you can do that.
So confidence comes with experience.
Right. So you have that experience, but it's still coming from within. It's coming from within, because another person could fix a TV and still not feel confident about fixing TVs. You understand what I'm saying? Right. So it still always comes from that, the within the person of how they feel about themselves. And so the thing is I said this in a video I did, I think last year, where I said that no one could really actually teach you how to be confident. You understand what I'm saying? It's something you have to explore and recognize on your own. The only thing you can do is give a person a pointer as to what confidence is, meaning that you can give them an idea of what to look for or a concept of it, but it's not really it. You understand what I'm saying? So like, for example, like if shout out to my mentor, Anthony DeMello. He says a lot of great, he's like a spiritual teacher. And basically he said that, it's like trying to eat a menu. Like when you look at a menu, the menu is just the idea of the food. You understand? But you don't eat the menu. You look at the menu, you say, okay, I want this, and you eat the food. So you experience eating the food. You don't eat the menu. So it's like the same thing with confidence. You have to experience the feeling of confidence, right? But it's not like I can't just say, hey, do this, this, and that, and then that's going to make you confident. It's like something you have to experience within yourself on your own. You see what I'm saying? And that's why it's so hard to sort of pinpoint, because you have to really get out of the trying to like pinpoint and calculate this, and you got to get into more of the feeling of it, because it's a very spiritual thing. You understand what I'm saying? Confidence is a very spiritual thing, because it's something that you feel within you. It's already, your value is already there. It's just you recognizing it being there. And once you recognize it being there, that's when the confidence is going to come out of you. You see what I'm saying? So that's what it is.
That is gems. We're going to take a quick break, but I really want to stay here when we get back and expound upon this. There's a lot of layers to this. I want to talk about the mask of confidence as well. And we can get into that. And then Reese, you've got some really good gems that you want to pick up. So to our fans, thank you for tuning in. This is really good stuff. So I hope y'all got your pen and paper out there. Y'all taking good notes. Pay attention. We're going to come out with some more stuff when we get back. But this is CO2 Carbon Ops Rawcast. We will see you in a second. Yeah, we are back. Thank you everybody for keeping with us. Once again, this is the CO2 Carbon Ops Rawcast, and we are with the big homie, Mr. Locario. And when we left off, we were talking about something I just wanted to quickly expound upon, which is the concept of genuine confidence versus the facade of confidence, which I wanted to get into that and get your take on it, because I think when we talk about this stuff, man, there's a lot of people out there who are looking for the recipe to confidence. And they're going to different people trying to figure out, how do I become confident? How do I do this? And the reality of it is, in my opinion, confidence is within you. It starts within you. You either are or you aren't, and when we're kids, you didn't have to think to yourself, do I need to, if you're going out on the playground, it's like, do I want to go up that swing or not? Do I want to go down that slide or not? Or whatever. Right. It's just you go because you want to have fun. Like, you didn't have to second guess yourself. Now, when bad experiences happen to you, when you went down that slide and you fell and you bumped your head or you scraped up your knee, now all of a sudden those seeds of doubt start to come in. And you're like, the next time I'm like, oh, I don't know if I can go up that slide. I don't know if I should go down that swing. You know what I mean? So when we were kids, we had confidence built in us. And it's our experiences through life that may have challenged us. So what is your take on that? What would be your message to guys out there trying to find that confidence back that probably is in them anyway?
Right. I think the confusion for a lot of guys too is that they think, or just people in general, they think that when you talk about being confident, right, it's this thing where they think that it has to be where every, moment of the day that you're feeling the best about yourself. It's just like if someone says being happy, if a person says I'm a happy person, that doesn't mean that 24 hours a day, 7 days a week, that you're feeling good about everything. Or you understand what I'm saying? It's just that in general, you're a happy person. So it's the same thing with confidence. In general, you have that confident energy about you. Right. You feel what I'm saying? So it's more of a general like way of being. So no matter what's happening, your fallback is confidence. You see what I'm saying? So something could happen that makes you feel a certain type of way, but your fallback is still confidence, meaning that you are that way, period. It's almost like, it's an unmovable, unshakable thing. So it's like if I have a $20 bill, if the $20 bill is a crisp $20 bill or I crumple it up, it's still a $20 bill. The fact that it's a $20 bill never changes. So it's the same thing with confidence. If you're a confident person, it never changes. But what happens is that we get caught up in trying to look confident or, portray confidence, that's where it becomes fake. You understand what I'm saying? Where we're feeling a certain type of way and we're trying to let other people think we are feeling a certain, a different way at that moment. And it's like, you don't have to do that. You understand what I'm saying? Because if you're truly confident, you already know that you are that dude. You already know that you're valuable. So if I approach a girl, right, and, I talk to her and let's say she don't want to talk to me, whatever. Let's say she harshly rejects me. She's just mad, disrespectful, whatever, right? A guy who's confident, right, he's going to be like, all right, whatever. He's like, damn, she kind of whatever, but he's just going to walk it off and just go talk to another girl.
Right.
A guy who's not confident, what's going to happen is that he's going to make that rejection he's going to look at himself differently because of the rejection. So he's not really confident. You see what I'm saying? So that's more of like a fake confidence. He's putting on a certain type of energy, but then because of how the woman acted, his reaction is towards her. You understand what I'm saying? It's not him it's not him standing on his ground. So he's basically like a $20 bill that turned into a $5 bill after the girl rejected him. You understand what I'm saying? He didn't realize he's still a $20 bill. You understand what I'm saying? So you gotta stay. The real core confidence is you staying in that awareness that's what you're about. That you're valuable no matter what happens. So I always say, before you approach a girl, you're a 10. While you're talking to the girl, you're a 10. And after you leave the girl, you're a 10, no matter what happens. Right. You see what I'm saying? And that's what confidence is about. It's not about, well, I feel confident when this happens, and then now I'm not confident when that happens. It's not a, it doesn't go that way. So I guess people need to understand is that it's a baseline sort of thing. It's kind of like you could say a person is a nice person. You might say, hey, this guy, I know he's a good guy, right? One day he might curse somebody the fuck out. He'd be like, man, fuck this motherfucker. Whatever. That doesn't change the fact. That doesn't mean right. You see what I'm saying? Right. He's still a good guy. Right. It's just that one day he just got pissed off. Mm-hmm. You see what I'm saying? But his core is he's a good dude. It's the same thing with confidence. Your core is confidence, but one day you might not feel too up to it. You might not feel that feeling, but your core is still there. So when the core is there, that it always defaults back to that. You see what I'm saying? No matter what happens.
And then this corresponds to what Rosebud said, in the documentary, when he talked about how he waits to see, I'm paraphrasing, he waits to see what she's going to say, what she's going to respond, so he knows how to get at her. Yeah. Mm-hmm. I thought that was very interesting because a lot of us, some of these cats, they have scripts. We know that. Right. They learn something verbatim and now they're trying to use it or whatever, you know what I mean? But, he actually made a good point. And believe it or not, some of us already do that on a subconscious level. Some of us just genuinely just talk to individuals and next thing you know, the engagement, the back and forth happens and we're having a great conversation. Yeah. So in some cases I can admit it's like, you know what? Maybe I was waiting to see how she responded. Like, hey, how you doing? I'm Reese. Oh, I'm so-and-so. How are you? Now you know exactly where to go. Mm-hmm. Now you know exactly what to do. Or even if you gotta, I'm Reese. How are you? I'm fine. And now you know exactly where to go. Yep. you know what to do. You could cut it off right there and then, and move on, But yeah, that was an interesting gem. Now, let's get deep. The bad boy, Mr. Locario, versus Red Pill Bullshit. For y'all don't know,
Oh man, we gonna get in so much trouble.
bring the smoke out against the Rawcast. I wish y'all would say something behind y'all little avatars and shit. What y'all gonna do? Y'all ain't gonna do nothing but say some dumb shit in the chat. I'm sorry. But anyways, you're the only individual I know who will make fun at the vernacular. I mean, like, so you guys, the girls are hypergamous, I'm red pill aware. Yeah, like, you kill that shit. It's funny, but the thing is, you would genuinely be considered red pill for what it's meant to mean. Yeah. As far as the concept, you're just aware. Right. But now we have like this modern red pill, which there's like 2 red pills now where you're just aware of shit and you just hate chicks. Right. And see, all 3 of us, we would be considered somewhat blue pill. All 3 of us is married, right? You're married, to the white woman and got a girlfriend on the side, still bang chicks, which means apparently you're in an open marriage, so you let guys smash your woman, your wife. Me, I married a single parent mother. So I broke all kind of black bro code apparently to this red pill world. He's
my wife ain't even black. I'm married to an Asian chick. And at me, don't say to me either, because it is what it is.
Yeah, and all 3 of us, we love our wives, don't we?
Yeah,
we all care about our wives. So now the thing is this. The question is, why do you go in? Just a question for you. Why do you be going in on that red pill bullshit as hard as you've been going in so far?
Well, this is the thing, man. It's funny because I work with other content creators and people who consider red pill. You know what I'm saying? Yeah. I never consider myself a red pill guy based off of like a lot of different things. Because like there's certain things like when people talk about hypergamy, people talk about women pair bonding, people talk about like I don't get into all that because see,
there are excuses.
It's unfortunate that, see, this is the thing. A lot of those talking points what's funny about those talking points is a lot of those talking points are true, but it's only true for guys who you would generally consider beta males. You understand? And this is not me going at nobody. I'm just trying to explain. I want to explain it so people understand.
I'm going at y'all now, Locario. Go ahead.
So if you're talking about hypergamy, because basically hypergamy is supposed to be like the woman is trading up or she's getting the better deal guy, whatever.
Which is she supposed to do?
Right. Well, and that's the thing. And see, what happens is that only applies to a guy if the woman is only with you because there's really no substance to the guy, meaning that she's going to get the guy who has more money because she was only with you because you had money, meaning you only had resources. So that's why, of course, she's going to go to the guy who has more resources because that's all she was with you for. Right. Now, what guys don't understand is that when you're with a woman and you have her mind, this is what guys don't understand. When you have a woman's mind and a woman is emotionally attached to you and she's invested in you, it's extremely hard for a woman to leave you. You can see what I'm saying? This is what guys don't understand. That's why I'll be trying to, get them to understand with the game. So when dudes is talking about hypergamy, that's not really a thing for guys who have game, because guys who have game, we actually have a hard time getting rid of women. You understand what I'm saying? Much less her going to somebody else. You know what I'm saying? Right. So, for example, I always tell guys, look at the craziness. I'm married, right? I'm in an open relationship. My wife could have been left me for other dudes, right? There's other guys she's met that got more money than me. So there's other guys she met that are better looking than me, that all of this other stuff, right? But she ain't going nowhere. You understand what I'm saying? Same thing with my girlfriend. You understand? So the thing is that there's certain quote unquote red pill things that they apply, but it only applies if you're a certain type of guy. If you're a different type of guy, you ain't got to even think about all that. And also stuff like pair bonding, they say if a woman's been with a bunch of dudes, she can't pair bond, which is nonsense.
So prostitutes can never marry.
Right. There's actually no scientific evidence that says any of that. There's never
porn stars get married all the time. Yeah.
Exactly. There's porn stars that's married. There's actual swinger couples. You understand? There's couples who swing. So that already shows you right there, if they're in a couple and they're swingers, that means that they're having sex with other people and they're still a couple. So how is that woman pair bonding if she's a swinger couple? You see what I mean? So all of those things fall by the wayside. Now, as far as the wall is concerned, the only thing that they can say about the wall is, let's say if a woman gets older, it's going to be harder after she's like 35 35 or something, it's going to be harder for her to, get pregnant. You understand what I'm saying? And have a healthy baby. It's not impossible, but it gets a little harder as she goes older. Yeah, but usually when the red pill, they're talking about the wall, they're really just talking about the looks mostly. They're like, oh, well, she hit the wall because she don't look good. And the thing is that what's funny is a lot of these guys, truth be told, if you go on these dating apps, these 40-year-old women, 50-year-old women, their inbox is flooded. So, so the wall didn't even matter because these dudes, they'll still try to get out.
Eddie Fuse said he did an experiment as a fat woman. And he got hella DMs. That's what he said.
I'm telling you. So that's what I'm saying. Like all of these things that's talked about, unfortunately, like the hypergamy thing, the pair bonding thing, the wall thing, it's coming from a beta male place. Because meaning the hypergamy thing is beta male things because it's like the beta male is the guy that's worried about his woman going off with somebody else. You understand? I don't even care if my woman go off with somebody else. Meaning if she goes over somebody else, it is what it is. You understand what I'm saying? I'm going to still live. I'm going to still do me. It's not like I'm going to be happy about it at first. I'll get over it. I'll be good. You know what I'm saying? It'll be cool. Yeah. It is what it is. The whole thing about pair bonding, the reason why guys are worried about pair bonding is because if you're a guy who can't get women, of course you're going to be worried about a woman bonding to you because you need to have her because you have the scarcity mindset. If you have an abundance mindset, you can be like, well, if she bond with me, cool. If she don't, I'll just get another one. You understand? But if you feel you can't get another one, then you're going to be worried about pair bonding. You see what I'm saying? And then the wall is just for guys who feel like they've been, played by women when they were younger, or they haven't had a lot of, success with women. It's like a revenge thing. It's like, watch when you get older, lady, no one's going to want you. That's what they're thinking. You know what I'm saying? So it's like a thing to like, and I'm like, I just can't get with all of that type of stuff because I'm like, yo, from a dude who has games perspective, that stuff is goofy. You know what I'm saying?
You are so right because when the rumor happened with A-Rod and J-Lo, apparently they were splitting for a second. There was a rumor that Alex Rodriguez banged some younger chick or whatever. Everybody was rooting for him, like, yeah, see, J-Lo, you hit the wall, you 50, it's whatever. Yeah. But then you got guys like us, like, look, J-Lo still got it. Yeah, she 50. But
all these dudes are giving to Joe.
That's what I'm saying. Like, all of y'all gonna wife up Kim Kardashian quick too because she's single too. Even though she had babies, you know what I mean. So let's quit the BS.
That's the problem with the internet and all of that is that you have dudes out there who don't have game, so it gives them a sense of power to say, oh, well, you're going to hit the wall and you've been messing with all these guys, so you're not going to be able to hit around because it makes them feel good because they've never had any dominance in their situation with women in the first place. So it feels good to be like, well, I got one up on you, woman. Right. You gonna get old. You're not going to be able to pair bond and no one's going to want you. Right. And so this is what it's like. It's like Revenge of the Nerds. You understand what I'm saying?
Exactly. You got dudes.
This is why I wanted to talk about the confidence thing because you pointed it exactly. It is a bunch of dudes who are angry because they didn't get what they want. It's almost like an adult temper tantrum, and it really is. And this is why, I wanted to talk about confidence and all that stuff is because if you are a confident dude, you wouldn't be angry at chicks just because somebody rejected you or told you, you know what I mean? Like you would just be like on to the next one or whatever, right? And that's where we have this disparity. Like it's not so much about like, oh, I hate the red pill mentality. Like I'm cool with people who are real people. Regardless of what you call these labels are just labels that somebody made up in their room or whatever. You could call me whatever you want to call me, but it's really more about like, okay, if I have this mentality, what does this mentality mean, right? Because I'll be real with you, like, do you not like women? Like I love women. I'm sorry. Is there something wrong with that? Don't you want to be around women? We have chicks on the show. Like you think these dudes are like, to be honest, like they talk like they're so angry at women as if like you don't want to, one or be with one.
That's the thing they don't understand. It's not about the women. Like shout out to my dude EO. He talks about it begins and ends with the man because everything they're talking about stems from their own selves. Because check this out. When a guy is talking about women being hypergamous, right? I've never had to deal with that type of stuff. You understand what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Now, another guy might have to deal with it. So, yeah, it's true for him, but it's not true for me. You understand what I'm saying? And for guys like me, the whole thing with the pair bonding thing, another man might have to deal with that because that's coming from his situation, but I ain't never had to deal with that type of pair. I've been pair bonding with my wife for freaking years. You understand what I'm saying?
Dude, we've all been pair bonding with girls with high body counts our whole life.
Yeah.
Exactly, right. So that's what I'm saying. So I'm like, if you can't pair bond, that's on you. That's your situation, right? So what these guys got to understand is that it's not that it's the truth that women they're all just like this. It's they're like this with you. This is what guys got to understand. The experience you're having with women is the experience you're having with women. You understand what I'm saying? And this is what guys got to understand is that there's so many different experiences that guys are going to have with women. There's so many ways that women are going to act and treat a guy. So the thing is that if you're getting a certain type of treatment from women, it's not that, oh, well, all these women, they're just like going to disrespect you and whatever. No, they're disrespecting you because that same woman who disrespected you, the next day she met another guy who she's showing the utmost respect. So what's going on here? It's not the woman, because remember, the woman is going to acquiesce to the man. She's going to follow the guy. You understand? Women follow men all the time. You understand? Like everything that's happening with you with a woman, that means she's following you, even if she's disrespecting you. Because what happened is that you created a situation where it was okay for her to disrespect you. So she's just basically following the precedent you set. If you're in the friend zone, she's still following you because you set the precedent of the friend zone. You allowed her to be in your space as a friend. So she's just following it. You see what I'm saying? You could have told her, no, we're not doing that, and then stop talking to her, or you kept talking to her, but you kept talking to her on a different level. But anything that a woman is doing is because you're allowing her to do it. So essentially, she's still following you. So when guys is talking about, oh, well, women this and women that, and blaming the women and pointing the finger at the woman, I'm like, bruh, you wasting your time, because it's essentially the woman she's going to follow whatever stuff you set in precedent, and so that's is coming from you at the end of the day. You see what I'm saying?
Who was it on the Game Kings that said, that a woman cares more about what you think about her than what she thinks about you?
Probably it could have been Eddie. Was it Eddie?
That was bars, because
Eddie is a cold motherfucker.
It's no joke.
But it's based in truth. I know a lot of women that I talk to, and they'll even tell you, like, they didn't really realize that they liked this cat until he started talking to her and whatever, and then he's like, oh, now I think he's cute. At first I didn't know, but now I think he's cute. That's gems. Like, you're right. Like, they don't really know sometimes, so you got to be the one as the man to like be like, okay, this is what it is, and then they'll go with where you go, what your energy is. So that's why I think a lot of these guys that are angry, you're killing yourself right off the bat, because you're so angry at women. You're giving that vibe off to where they can feel your energy and they don't want to have nothing to do with you anyway.
Exactly right. Right. Exactly.
And before we move on, I got one last question. And I told him this. I was like, isn't the red pill supposed to help you get more chicks?
I thought that was the
thing is, I'm telling you, man, it's like the whole thing. That's why I never like to really subscribe to the whole pill thing, because, and I know some people, because I don't even like to subscribe to the manosphere stuff. Like, I'm just a dude who's a coach on YouTube.
You got sucked into it though, right?
I'm with you on that.
I'm like, oh, you're part of the black manosphere and you're part of the red pill, and I get it. It's cool, but the thing is that I think what happens is when guys see. This is the problem. Too many guys are living on the internet and they're not living outside the internet. And so when they're on the internet, you got guys who've never been on a date, guys who are virgins, guys who've never really interacted with women, thinking they're experts and they can tell you about women because they heard some content creator say something about women. And I'm like, bro, you're like, oh, well, the women are hypergamous and they're going to ride the carousel. And I'm like, bro, have you ever been with a woman? No, I'm a virgin. I'm like, so what you know about women?
What are you talking about?
And that's what happened. Like, we have all these internet philosophers who've never really actually been out there in the game. And so I tell guys, listen, you have to be out there in the real world, because it's actually dangerous for certain guys to take in information that's not actually, it's not really a thing where it's going to help them progress, because again, they're taking in information that's just going to keep them in a beta male energy. Like that, they're going to have that weak man that type of weak energy with women. Because if you're starting off, let's say you're a guy who's a virgin or a guy who's young or who hasn't had that much experience with women. Now you're going out into the world, talking to girls and interacting with girls, and on your mind is, oh, they're going to be hypergamous. They're going to, they're going to
stop saying that word, bro.
they're gonna like, take half my stuff. And so you're coming in this situation with so much fear
already.
You understand what I'm saying? And you're not gonna know how to deal with women. And so you're already starting off losing. You understand what I'm saying?
We talked about this before we started the show about how like there's like cats out there who don't really understand. Like, there's a lot of people on YouTube, right? So you got young cats, you got older cats or whatever, and there's dudes that will really take what you say seriously. And that's why some of these coaches, these dating coaches, got to be careful, because there are dudes that don't really have that common sense like that to understand the balance. And they'll be like, oh, well, yeah, well, women ain't and all that stuff, and go out there and start shooting or doing stupid stuff. And now that's your fault because you went and sent this dude out, on a rampage. It's like, you got to be careful.
Rage.
Yeah. And again, like to the audience, we're not taking shots at people. We're just talking about, like, you got to be a freak. You got to think for yourself sometimes. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
Like, you can take people's advice and watch all these channels or whatever. That's cool. But at the end of the day, it's your life. It's your mind. It's your mentality. Think for yourself for a minute, and then you'll know what to do in your life. So that's my thing.
Right. That's facts. That's facts.
Now let's go ahead. Are we done, or can I squeeze this one in real quick?
We'll do a 3-minute, 5-minute audible.
All right.
Yeah.
Looks, money, status.
Yeah.
Let's go ahead and put it to rest. Now, in my opinion, the matters because looks is your appearance. You know what I mean? Money, come on, we all need money, but you ain't got to put it on no chick. Status, girls don't want nobody. You even said it yourself. This is what gets the mind. This is what gets her mind. It's who you are is what you are. But go ahead, looks, money, status. Yes or no? Does the matter? Should we lay the to rest? Go.
Right. So this is the problem with this whole argument is that, I've always promoted the whole looks don't matter thing, even though it also matters because they both matter. Like, both things are right. So basically what it means is that if you say looks don't matter and you also say looks matter, they're both right, because in each situation, you can still get what you want in the game. Now, the problem is that guys think it's either or, right? Now, the reason why I champion the whole looks don't matter is because guys try to use their looks as an excuse as to why they can't get girls. So they're like, well,
the genetics,
right? Yeah, exactly. Because and then when they say looks, they're literally just talking about like the face structure and the body and all that. They're not even talking about appearance yet. You know what I'm saying?
Hate my ass.
We some clean brothers.
Yeah, we clean. Y'all hate the three of us right now. Go ahead, Locario.
I'm just kidding.
Right. So the thing is that of course a woman is going to be attracted to you because of your looks, right? But also on the flip side, even if you are not the best looking guy or even her type physically, right? That doesn't mean that you're not going to be able to get the girl, because it's like this. I'll put it to you like this. Let's say a person says getting a degree matters to getting a good job. You'd be like, well, yeah, if you get your bachelor's and master's, that means you get a good job. And then the person will also say, well, you know what? It doesn't matter if you get a degree, you can still get a good job. That's true, right? So getting a degree matters, and getting a degree doesn't matter. You understand what I'm saying? You can still make it happen. So it's the same thing with looks. You can get a girl off your looks, and you can also get a girl even if she don't think you're the best looking guy or don't think you're good looking. Either way, it can happen. So both ways can happen. So this is what I want guys to understand is that you can't use your looks as an excuse, because at the end of the day, also your looks cancel out. So what does that mean? Let's say, for example, you're on Tinder and you match with a girl, right? That girl matched with, let's say, 15 other guys that day. And that's just a low number because they be matching with crazy bunch of dudes, right? Yeah. Let's say you're a good looking dude, but let's say there's 9 other good looking dudes, right? In her inbox. What separates you? You see what I'm saying? Right. So at that point, your looks cancel out. So what difference does it make that you look good? Because this other guy looks good. This other guy looks good. And it's easy. This is what guys don't understand. It's easy for a woman to get a good looking dude. Listen, the girls that I've dated, they show me their inbox. They show me the dudes that they mess with. It's super easy for these girls to get good looking dudes. And it could be a girl that you would consider a 6 or a 7. There's chicks that I've dated that you would consider 6 and 7s. They'll get dudes like that look like the male model types easy. So it's easy for women to get a good looking dude. So what happens is, and this is what goes into the whole looks don't matter thing, is that a lot of times what happens, and this goes for anybody in life, is that when you're used to something, a lot of time it loses its value or it loses its importance. So if a woman is used to getting good looking men, your looks aren't going to be the end all be all as to why she's going to want to deal with you.
So good looking men don't get emotional.
Right, exactly. So this is what guys don't get. They think that it's like a special event for a woman to get a good looking dude. No, a woman could be like a fat sloppy chick and get a good looking dude. Why? Because it's hard for most dudes to get women, no matter how they look. You understand what I'm saying? So even if a good-looking guy let's say a good-looking guy has a drought, that's what's going to compel him to get with that sloppy chick, because she's going to get that good-looking guy because it's easy for her to get him. So what happens is that at the end of the day, women are like, okay, what else do you got that makes you interesting? So she has 10 good-looking guys in her inbox. She's like, okay, which one of you is going to make me want to see you? What's going to intrigue you? All y'all trying to take me out Friday, which one I'm going to pick? You see what I'm saying? And that's where the game comes in, is that what looks guys don't understand, or what guys who are so concerned about looks is that it's a lot of it is surface level, right? So yeah, use your looks to your advantage, but understand that it's deeper than that. Because in my new book, I actually talk about the 5 types of attraction. I talked about this before. It's physical attraction, sexual attraction, behavioral attraction, resource attraction, and friendship attraction, right?
Ooh, y'all got that exclusive.
Right. So what happens is that physical attraction is based off of how a woman is attracted to you because of how you look. It could be your natural looks or your appearance. But what people don't understand is that physical attraction does not always equate to sexual attraction. So what that means is a woman can literally say, "You're handsome. I think you look really good," and have no desire to have sex with you.
I got that many a time. Yeah.
Right. You see what I'm saying? Right. So, and I'm sure I've been in that situation too, where girls like, "Oh, you're so cute and your skin's so chocolatey," and I'm like, "All right, let's get it popping." She's like, "Oh, but no," and I'm like, "What? I thought you know what I'm saying?" And so that's even where I started to get guys to understand. I'm like, "Yo, it's not all about the looks," because if that was the case, I'd have been smashed twice as many women that I've smashed in my life just based off the looks. But it's not just that. And so that's what it is that a woman could have physical attraction for you and not have sexual attraction for you. Now, she could have physical attraction for you and have sexual attraction for you because of your physical, but it's not always the case. You see what I'm saying? And so this is what guys got to understand, is that this is why game is so important, because game encompasses everything. So you have so many different things in your arsenal to use when you're dealing with a girl. And when it comes to the money and the status stuff, again, money is a woman be attracted to you because that's resource attraction. That's money. That's the 4th one I was talking about. A woman could be attracted to you because of your money and not be sexually attracted to you. This is why you have guys who are in marriages who have sex like once a month. You feel what I'm saying? Yeah. Because their woman's not sexually attracted to them. They were attracted to the guy because he could protect and provide. That's why she's with him. You see what I'm saying? And so people got to understand that there's different levels in different situations. So again, a guy could also be sexually attractive to a woman and not even necessarily be her ideal physical type. And that's where the whole looks don't matter comes in. Because, for example, I know all of us guys have been in this situation. You might have saw a woman or talked to a girl or had a girl in your class or a girl that you knew, and you're like, she's all right. She's not the best looking chick ever, but there was something about her that you thought, like, damn, I want to smash. Like, I don't know what it is about this woman, but I want to get at her. And that's sexual attraction. You see what I'm saying? So it's not just based off of her look. It's an energy. It's an aura. It's a vibe. And so that's what women get a lot of times. This is why you see women with guys who look regular. You be like, how does this dude get this chick? It's because she's sexually attracted to this dude. He got game. You feel what I'm saying? And that's what I try to tell guys when it comes to this whole thing. They just be all over the place with it, and they think it's simple as, oh, well, you look good and the girl's going to want you. It's not that simple for women. You understand? Because women, it's again, it's the energy, it's the feelings. This is why, see, women. This is why women like stuff like 50 Shades of Grey. Remember, that was a book first. Yeah. You understand? Why is a book that they have to read? There's no visual. You understand what I'm saying? It's all in their mind and how they feel about what they're reading. Wow. That's getting them off. You understand what I'm saying? Same thing with guys. Women are more auditory. Guys are more visual. Women are visual too. Don't get it twisted. But women are more auditory than visual. So women will get wet based off of something you said more so than based off of how you look. You understand what I'm saying? And this is why guys who aren't the best looking guys could still get hot women. You see what I'm saying?
That's why what do we always say on the show? Balance. I need to make a T-shirt that says balance.
Yeah, we need to make hella T-shirts.
So niggas remember that. Man,
this that whack.
it's the whack time, man. It's the time we hate, brother. Locario, man, we really appreciate you, brother, being on the show, man. You spit a lot of gems today, man, and thank you for doing. We got to have you back on the show at some point,
especially after that new book, man.
Yeah, and actually, this is a good opportunity. Let's go ahead and plug what you got, man.
How can they find you? Plug your book.
Yes, sir. So, guys, you guys can find me at my main site, MrLocario.com. That's where you can get all my books. Right here is, the book right here, How to Have Sex with 2 Women a Day. That's the book right there. And then also the Game Kings documentary. That's so you can get the Game Kings. Go to MrLocario.com to get the Game Kings. Also, you can get the Game Kings for free if you go to badboymembership.com. Bad Boy Membership is where you get 45 through 90-minute audio and video dating advice tutorials every month. And we have the Game Kings on there, so you can watch that for free if you join the Bad Boy Membership. And just hit me up on Instagram at real Mr. Locario. So that's the spot.
Dope. Man.
How can they find your ass?
Well, you can always find your boy Diggy on Diggy City, on Instagram, on Twitter, even though I don't be on that and on Facebook. Yeah. What about you?
Of course, you can find your dude on the gram, Good Evening Mr. Black. Also on Twitter, Evening Mr. Black. And make sure you follow our show's gram, CO2 Rawcast, for updated clips and exclusives. And make sure you jump on our IGTV mini-series CO2 Rawclusive. And go ahead and hit us up on Facebook, hit the wall, talk, comment, and make sure you subscribe to this channel, bitches, and get that damn Game Kings. I'm not playing with y'all.
Yes, sir.
Y'all over here jumping on everybody's YouTube channel, following coach after coach like little bitches, and just get Game Kings and calling it damn night. This is the last time I'm gonna be plugging this, but this is the last time I'm gonna tell y'all. Support the documentary One of a Kind.
That's what I'm talking about.
All right, folks, man. Again, Mr. Locario, we appreciate you being on the show, man. For everybody, definitely go in and check out his page, check out his content. For us, man, this is it. We'll see y'all next time when it's Lounge. Hopefully you guys enjoyed it. See you next time. Peace. Flip side. We out.
Peace.